This is episode number 37. 2 indispensable traits that you need to get in shape and stay in shape. Welcome everybody to another episode here in Body and Mind Transformation by Custom Body Fitness. This is your health coach Sandro Torres, and today we're going to be talking about these 2 indispensable traits that you need to stay in shape, to actually get in shape and stay in shape. Remember, a lot of people have won the lottery. A lot of people have opened businesses and they lost weight and they gained weight. They couldn't keep up with their business. They lost all the money once they win the lottery, and the reason is because they don't have these 2 traits. Once you have these 2 traits, you can not only get in shape, you also need to stay in shape, because like I mentioned, it's not about the money that people win in the lottery. It's about having those traits so they can keep that money. They can continue actually growing the money. It's not about opening a business. It's about making the business successful, and you need these 2 traits to be able to not only make your business successful, but to keep it successful. The same with being in shape, losing the weight and having a toned body. You need to get there and also stay in there. And this is the talks about that. We talk about how you can get in shape and stay in shape. So without further introductions, let's go and listen to how you can get in shape and stay in shape. At CBF, we know that for you to change your body, you need to change your mind. Exercise and eating healthy is only part of the plan. We care about our members as we care about our family, because our members become our family. It is not about competition, but support. It is not about being the strongest or the fastest, but about you defeating your negative self. It is about working together and making the task challenging and have fun. By the end, what matters is not how hard the session was, but that you take control of your mind so you can take control of your body. My name is Sandro Torres, and I'm happy you are part of our family. Welcome to Custom Body Fitness. I want to start this talk by motivating you and tell you how does it feel to be out of shape. But I've been lying. I never been out of shape. I started exercising since I was 19 years of age. And before that, I used to drive a bici taxi. That's like a bike with a cart in the back where you pull people and take them to places in Mexico. So I never been out of shape. I'm proud of that, honestly. I'm very happy that I started exercising when I was 19 years of age, because I never suffer for being out of shape, except the times that I take vacation. I notice when I go away for a week or 2 weeks every year and I come back and continue exercising, it gets a little difficult. I don't lift the same weights. I have to lower a little bit because I become weaker, but within 2 or 3 weeks I regain my strength again. But being completely out of shape, I never been there. But I can tell you the testimonials of some of our members that have told me. Has been a couple of our members that said they're housekeepers, and they say they used to take the stair steps, and they run out of breath. They take 2, 3, 4 steps, sometimes more, and they run out of breath, and they need to catch their breath so they can continue. Other members told me how it feels embarrassing to be behind when they go hiking or biking, because they can't catch up the breath. They're out of shape. They can't keep up with their friends, and it's embarrassing to tell them that they don't have the ability to keep up with them. And instead of that, they come up with an excuse so they can stop and go back. And another thing is, other members told me about how difficult it is to move furniture or carry their luggage to the airport. it's interesting how being out of shape affects your life. And the opposite is true. I remember one of the members told me one day that she's a woman, young woman, she's very attractive. And a guy approached her and told her that if she needed any help with the luggages, because she was carrying 2 luggages. And she said she was dragging it, you know, those wheels, but then she needed to put those in the carousel so they can weigh it. And she said, no, I got this. And she picked those up and put them in that way or whatever carousel with no problem. I also read a story of a guy that, I don't know, I don't remember the story because it has been a while since I read it. It has been like 8 years or something like that. But it goes something like the son was falling off a cliff and died. And he could have saved it, but the reason he couldn't is because he didn't have the stamina to run fast. He was too slow. He was overweight. That he fell off the cliff and died. That was the saddest story, but he tells the story because he wants you to get motivated and to understand how being in shape, it's very important to save your son's life in case that it is in danger and you have the strength and the fitness level to run as fast as possible if something like that happened. I can tell you that my motivation to exercise was very superficial. When I started, I remember I met a guy. He was a bodybuilder. I think he was very handsome, and I want to be just like him to attract the opposite sex. I wanted to attract women. I wanted to be just very handsome like this guy. He stand out compared with the other guys, and I said I want to be like this guy, very strong. He had a very nice legs, butt, arms. You can see that he exercised. So that's how I got motivated. That was a superficial motivation, but it was enough for me to start to begin my journey into being fit. As I continue with my life, my motivation changed. One day I discovered I fall into depression. When I fall into depression, I make a lot of conclusions. And one of the conclusions I made is that my life doesn't belong to me. I'm very naive, and you are very naive if you think that your life belongs to you, and I think that my life belongs to me. Why is that? Because it doesn't belong to us. At any moment we can die of anything. Somebody can shot us, we can get into a car accident, we can slip and fall and hit on our head. Anything can happen. A black widow can bite us, and maybe, I don't know, we can get into an accident. There's so many ways we can die. You can die of anything and anywhere. So the decision is not yours. You can be careful for anything. You can be very aware of your surroundings, but when you're gonna die, you're gonna die. So your life doesn't belong to you. When I discovered that, I asked what I was made for, and then I discovered that I was made to serve people. I have a mission here in this life, and I want to live it to the fullest. And since my life doesn't belong to me, and God decides when I'm going to die, and I need to serve people, I need to be in the best shape ever to be able to help people. If I'm not in the best shape ever, I'm not going to give my 100% to people. That's how I started to divide my life in different areas in my life, and getting in shape in different areas in my life, not only in my health, my connection with God, my health, my family, my finances, my career, which is my mission. So when that happened, I stopped worrying so much about being an attractive guy. I stopped worrying about just growing muscles for growing muscles. Now I care a lot about my health. I start eating healthy. I start getting stronger. I start doing my cardio. I start working mentally to become also mentally healthy. But there is 2 things that help me be in shape, become in shape, and continue being in shape. One of them is being persistent. And I remember when I was a kid, a lot of people called me that I was very stubborn. And I was stubborn because I wanted things the way I wanted, and I won't stop until I get it. For many people think that's a bad thing. I think that's a virtue, because if you're stubborn, if you want something and you fight for it, you're gonna get it. Just like me getting in shape. When I was 14 years of age, remember, I come from a very poor family. I mean, we didn't have food to eat. I started working when I was 14, 13 years of age. I started paying for my food and my rent and things like that. To buy pants, to wear pants. It was so difficult for me to buy a pair of pants because I didn't have the money. To buy food, I have to think about it, to go buy a couple tacos because I didn't have the money. So you have to keep in mind that we didn't even have the dream to own a bike. It was difficult to own a bike. Imagine a car. And I remember I started hanging out with friends that used to drive public transportation, and their private public transportation. I used to hang out with them. I was around 16, and I used to go with them every time and ask him, like, teach me how to drive, teach me how to drive. And they will get very angry with me and say, I just tell you, I won't teach you. I'm not gonna let you drive this thing. You're not gonna learn with me. And I used to go and go every time until they give up on me and they say, okay, I'm gonna let you drive. This is how you drive. So pay attention. Just pay attention to how I move the pedals. Pay attention to how I move the stick, and to pay attention and the mirrors. Pay attention and everything I'm paying attention to. So I start paying attention. He thought that I will not get. They thought, because there were a couple people that were brothers who were teaching me how to drive. They probably thought that I will get discouraged. But as I pay attention, I will continue to ask them, and finally they let me drive. And that's how I learned. My point out of that is that I was very persistent. It took me months before they say yes. So I'm the same way with exercising. My persistence have helped me achieve many dreams. They have helped me progress in my life. It makes me happy because I don't give up. If I want something, I go get it. And if I don't get it, it's because it wasn't for me, but I don't stop. I don't stop because I don't give up. So when I exercise, the same thing. When I started exercising, and that's how I became a personal trainer, then a health coach, and then I opened a business, and so on, it's because people saw my passion. And when I exercise, they think I was a fighter, they think I was a bodybuilder, they thought I was competing for something. Then some people asked me if I was a personal trainer, and I was nothing of that. But because they saw the passion in me, they think I was special. And the only thing that I think I'm special is that I'm persistent, which you can also be. You can practice persistent. The other thing that it's super important, and I studied this, I read this, not only read it, I studied with my client this. I can see my clients, I can see it on me. It's that regressive mentality. I had a client, and it's not only one, there is many. And that's when I come to my clients and I talk to them. I told them the truth because I want them to progress. I want them to get to their goals, and I want them not to give up in life. I want them to be young. I want them to be I want them to be powerful. I want them to be bright. I want them to be passionate about the things what they do. I don't want them to give up. So when I see this kind of pattern that I'm going to tell you in a minute, I approach them because I want the best. I want to get the best out of them. But yes, I had a couple clients that no matter what I did, I couldn't persuade them to continue moving forward. And yeah, I'm not blaming them. This is my fault because I should be able to find a way to persuade them. But I'm going to tell you the story of one of them. I remember she came with me. She was with us for around 3 months, 4 months, maybe 5 months. And she came with a lot of a lot of misconception, a lot of lies about weightlifting. And in the first month, she let me push her a little bit. First, second months, we were pushing it. She was doing chest press. I believe she was starting with 15 pounds. And then at the second month, she was up to 20 or 25 pounds. She lost some weight. She was very happy with the results. She started getting muscle tone. Then she started complaining. The wrist, the shoulder, the elbow, and so on, whatever you want to call it. That this hurt, that hurt, and she started thinking that it was too much weight, the 25 pounders that she was lifting. I couldn't do anything to make her lift those 25. Doesn't matter what I did, she didn't do it. So she went back to 20s. And then the 20s were heavy. Because remember, if you're not progressing, you still spend the same energy or even more energy resisting your progress than just try to do less than what you're doing. And not only that, you also paying the price of losing the muscle and gaining the fat that you already lost and gained. So it's not because I want people to lift heavier weight. It's because it's for their own good. Because I want them to get tone. So then after those 20 pounds, she went down to 15, and I believe she went down to 12. And came to the point that she gained all the fat, she lost all the muscle, and she came back where she started, back in the beginning. That's a regressive mentality. And I know when people think that way, they're already given up. And since I'm not planning to quit and I'm planning to die, I'm planning to live to my fullest, I don't want to have a regressive mentality. So every single time I go to the gym, I lift the same weight. Doesn't matter how I feel. Doesn't matter if I'm sick. Doesn't matter if I have the energy. Doesn't matter if I'm dehydrated. Doesn't matter if I sleep enough. Doesn't matter if my wrist hurt. Doesn't matter if my back is bothering me. Doesn't matter if I cut my finger. Doesn't matter anything. I lift the same weight because I don't want to have that regressive mentality. The only time that I don't lift the same way, I go lower 5 or 10 pounds, is when I take a week or 2 weeks off because I become weaker. Doesn't matter if I try to do it. It's not possible. But my mentality is going back where I used to be in a couple weeks. And then continue progressing. So this is what happened with the regressive mentality. If you're regressing on your weightlifting, if you're regressing in life, if you're not planning or thinking about progressing, you're already giving up in life. You're already dying. You're not living to the fullest. So if that's what you want to do, that's perfect. But for me, it's not a choice. So that's what keeps me in shape. Think about that. I stay in shape. I feel like 23 years old. I'm 40, and I'm stronger than ever. And the reason is because I have those two things. I have persistent and a progressive mentality, not regressive mentality. So those are the things. Those are the two things that help me to stay in shape. As I mentioned before in this talk, my life doesn't belong to me. It belongs to the people. It belongs to the family. It belongs to the community. It belongs to God. And of course, I'm not gonna take my health for granted. I'm not gonna give up. I'm going to take care of my health, or my body, because I owe it to the people who are around me. They depend on me like I depend on them. If I want to be an example for people to get in shape, to be healthy, I need to be the example. I can't come up with excuses. And I can't eat junk food. They can't see me stop in McDonald's and eat all those wrong things. They're not good for your health. Not because I care about what people say. No, I don't care about what people say. You probably know this already if you've been following me for a long period of time. But that's an example that I set for people. And if I'm talking about that, I should set up the example, not eating junk food. So yes, I care. I owe it to everybody else. So how serious are you about your life? How serious are you about your health and fitness level? How serious are you about your mission? Do you care about your mission? Do you care about living your life to the fullest? Are you in the fitness level that you want to be? Are you happy with the decisions you're making? Or you just living life just for living? Are you dying actually because you're not living? If you're not really caring about your future, if you're not really caring about how you're going to serve people, if you're not really caring about your health, if you're not caring about your physical and mental health, so then you're probably already dying. I honestly don't know how to tell you this. You might get offended, but I need to tell you, the fitness level that you are in is your choice, it's your responsibility, it's your decision. So if you have a couple extra pounds, if you don't feel that you are in shape, it's your responsibility. So make that decision. Become better today. Be a better person. Start making the right choices to improve your health. Nobody's gonna come and motivate you. Nobody's gonna come and tell you, here is my motivation, take it and go do something for yourself. It's something that you need to do on your own. Make that decision now. Remember, even though you believe that the life that you have belongs to you, doesn't belong to you. You owe it to a superior power. You owe it to life. So do something for it and fulfill your mission. Okay, let's summarize this talk. Remember, your body doesn't belong to you. It belongs to this universe, to God, to life, to whatever you want to call it. Therefore, you need to take care of your body. Your body also don't belong to you. If you want to fulfill your mission and be the best of you, take care of your body. Keep that in mind. The next is my persistence helped me to achieve many of my dreams. So if you want to tone your body, you need to persist. Don't give up. Persistent means that doesn't matter what happened, you continue being disciplined to achieve your goal. The next is the other trait, which is very important. Don't have a regressive mentality. Regressive mentality is for losers, for people who give up. So think about progressing. No matter what happened, no matter how you feel, think about going forward. You're probably already dying if you give up already. So that's the next point. So if you give up in life and you're not doing your best, if you have a regressive mentality, you're already dying. If you really want to live, stop focusing on regressing, but in progressing instead. The next and last point that I think is important is it's your responsibility. To be in shape is your responsibility, nobody else. Don't blame it to your genes. Don't blame it to the fast food. Don't blame it to how busy you are. Don't blame it where you live. Don't blame it to anything else. It's your responsibility. So if you really want to get in shape and stay in shape, take the responsibility and take action now. So that's those important points that I think, once again, are important. If you probably got different points, please comment and put them on the comment area. I would love to hear your opinion. Please share this podcast with somebody who needs this information. You do them a favor to them. You also do me a favor. You do a favor yourself, because you're also going to feel good. And remember to stay mentally and physically healthy. And we're going to tune in the next episode.